Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the December 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini. Welcome, fellow Geminis. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at anything just general coming for December. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But let's go ahead and get into it, Gemini. Again, column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the summary card of stretch. Stretch is an interesting one. This is just saying typically things are a little bit harder to complete. You have to push a little harder, reach a little farther, stretch a little farther. It's just a little bit more challenging than we would have anticipated it to be or would have liked it to be. You still got things done. It just took a little extra. Let's see what cards are coming through underneath, though. Let's see what other messages I can give you about this column. The first card that we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is one of those cards, Gemini, that's going to be always really good for you. It's favorable for you. The Judgment card is a card of clarity. It's a card of making a decision. I feel like there's something you just made a decision on. And it was a big deal. I don't know exactly what the scenario was, but I feel like this being a meaningful, large decision for you. I feel like you finally got the information and clarity you needed, and then you went for the decision. I like this, though, because this is, like, the Judgment comes through as, like, life's purpose and being on your quest and being on your path. And I think this decision that you made really supports that well as also. The next card that we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is pretty stagnant. It's hanging there by their foot, just waiting. Typically you need more information. There's something that you're missing before you can make a decision or take action. So nice pairing with the Judgment and the Hangman, because I think you were stagnant and then you got the information you needed with the Judgment card so you could move forward and make that decision. Perhaps this waiting or this lack of information that's causing that stretch. Maybe it was even things stretch for longer than we thought they would, took more time than we thought they would. And then at the bottom here, we have the Devil card. The Devil card's a card of addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession. I'm going to take this a couple different ways because there's a couple different messages coming here, Gemini. One of them is I feel like you were really thinking about this situation a lot. Like, I feel like some of you, like, were even, like, dreaming about this situation because it had captured so much of your thoughts and your energy. So that's, I don't like the word obsession, but that's that kind of overthinking or consuming thought that may have happened with this scenario. The other thing that I'm seeing here is, like, materialism or greed. I feel like potentially this could have been a financial move, or it could have been something that was expensive. So just make sure you kind of offset now and start to save or recollect that money. You're not going to have financial issues or anything of that sort, Gemini, but it does feel like it could have been a money move for sure. So all major arcanas there, meaning big messages for you. Let's clarify this column though and see what other messages I can give you. The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a card, anytime we have an Ace of Wands, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Wands, this is new project, inspiration, urge to create. I'm not surprised to see this because I do feel like you made the decision to pursue something new. So this Ace of Wands is just a reflection of the newness. Sorry, the cat is coming to visit us this morning here. The next card we have is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of collaboration. I feel like there was like a lot of back and forth discussions on this item, or this situation or this scenario or this purchase. I feel like there was a lot of, again, back and forth talking things through. Are you going to sit here the whole time? The next card we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of expectations. It's very traditional. It's conformity. One thing I like about the Hierophant is, in general, I think this situation is going to exceed your expectations. We're going to be happy we did it. But this is also a good reminder to get some rigor back, especially if it was financial, to start to kind of recollect some money. Okay, thank you for helping. All right, let's take a look at our next column now. This is anything related to just what's coming for December in general. We have the card Heat. I feel like this has been a crazy busy year, Gemini, and December's not going to be any different. Heat just means that things are moving, actions happening. With that, there's friction, and with that, there's heat. So things are just going to continue to keep moving for you. I feel like December is literally going to be over in a blink. But let's see what messages we have coming here for you, Gemini. Let's see what other insight I can give you. The first card that we have is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. Those sound kind of negative, but it doesn't really need to be that way. And maybe those aren't negative words and I just feel like they are. But if you look at this, the Eight of Cups on this card is stacked really nicely, but yet the person in the background is still walking away or moving on. And it's like going from good to better. It's looking for greener grass. It's looking for something more on the other side. And it's not to say these Eight of Cups are bad, but there's something better for you, Gemini. So this is your continued pursuit for something better. I think you're going to continue to move forward. Again, things are going to continue to move with the Heat card as well. The next card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. I feel like you need to keep working on whatever you're working on, and that's parent, because again, we have the Heat card, so things are continuing to move. This is you continuing forward on the journey. The one thing I like about the Knight of Pentacles, though, is this is like reaping the benefits of your hard work. So the Knight of Pentacles is continuing to put in hard work, and then this is you receiving the benefits of that hard work. So I feel like you're right on the cusp of getting whatever you want on this journey. At the bottom here we have the Ace of Cups. This could or couldn't be related. I feel like for most of you these two cards are connected, maybe not so much the Ace of Cups. Again, anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. So this is new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. Some of you could be finding out you're having a baby, a grandbaby. You could be getting a new animal. I know for some of you, like, that's a far stretch. I'm like, it's really not. It could be a new friend. It could be a new animal. Baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So some sort of new love connection coming through there. Let's clarify and see what other messages we have here, Gemini. The first card we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very curious, very gossipy. I always I don't know. I typically tell people to not be telling people your moves. There seems to be almost people watching you or curious what you're doing. So I would keep that in mind and keep kind of quiet as you take these next steps or you work on this next thing, Gemini. Not everybody has the best intentions for you. I just feel like there's gossip or chatter or some sort of drama here, and you can avoid it by just kind of staying quiet and working on whatever you're working on. The next card that we have is the Justice card. The Justice card is a card similar to the Judgment card. It's one of those ones that's always favorable for you. With the Justice card, this is also cause and effect, and it's win-win solution. So this is, again, working hard and reaping the benefits of it. Because you did this, you get this. So definitely continue, keep the heat up, continue on this journey. This is also a really good card for legal matters, contracts, things of the court. So if you're dealing with any of that, favorable outcome there for you too, Gemini. The next card that we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of leaving a legacy. It's retirement, it's inheritance. This is long term. So if you are entering into a new relationship, it seems like it's going to be really long lasting. Same thing if you get an animal, you're going to have the animal for a long time. Entering into a relationship, you're going to be in the relationship for a long time. There's nice long-term energy, like you're building the castle together with this type of energy. So I like to see that. Some of you could be retiring too, which is nice, or getting inheritance. All good things there as well. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column. I recently bought a new deck of cards specific to just like give you money advice. So this one specifically is a money affirmation. So this is an affirmation you can say to yourself going into the month of December. I am financially safe and secure. Love that. Okay, so in this column, we're going to talk about anything related to money, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, whatever you associate with money, Gemini. The first card that we have is the Hierophant. We talked about the Hierophant earlier. The Hierophant's very traditional. It's very conventional. It's a card of conformity. It's a card of expectations. I actually feel like there's something coming, and maybe it's 2 or 3 months out, but whatever you're working towards is going to exceed your expectations. So I like that energy. You just may not feel it yet in December is what I'm seeing and feeling here, Gemini. I will say also take a creative approach on things. Sometimes with the Hierophant, we just like get stagnant and do the same thing over and over and over again. So this is a good time to switch up energy and switch up what we're doing. So take a different approach on something if you can. The next card we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is very bold, very powerful, very charming. You have a lot of influence in your career right now, and you have a lot of influence over your finances right now. It's a good place to be. We can make those power moves from this situation. Some of you could be in a leadership role too and moving into a leadership role as well. Perhaps that's what that energy is 2 months from now. 3 months from now. And at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is working hard. This is mastering your craft. This is enjoying your employment. I feel like you're really refining your skills going into the end of the year. Perhaps you're working on a big project or getting a degree or an education or something of that sort. But again, I feel like you're really fine-tuning your skills here, Gemini. Similar to the Knight of Pentacles, when I see the Eight of Pentacles, that's hard work paying off. So I always like that. The first card clarifier we have for this column is the Tower card. The Tower card's a card of unwanted change. I always like to explain this. You plan for A, B, C to happen and D, E, F happens. So again, I see some unwanted change potentially. The nice thing though is with the Hierophant, I really do feel like this is going to exceed your expectations. So it might not have been what you thought you wanted, but it's going to be really good. Also, now that I'm seeing this, you may be forced into taking a more creative approach. I was saying you could try doing something different than the way you've been doing it, the conventional or traditional way. With this card, I feel like you'll have to, if that makes sense. But overall, the energy still looks good, just not exactly what you were expecting. The next card that we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of, this is like being stagnant. It's hanging there by your foot. Oftentimes it's waiting for more information as well. Sometimes this is like a card of wisdom too. Again, people are really like looking for you, looking to you for guidance, looking to you for perspective, looking to you for information. Again, you're really kind of on top of your game and in a position of power here. I think the stagnancy though is potentially coming in the fact that whatever we're kind of working on is maybe 2 or 3 months out here. At the bottom, we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, I feel like you're kind of feeling discouraged that maybe your hard work isn't paying off, Gemini. But again, it is brewing. It's just a couple months out from where we're at right now. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. Similar to the money card, I did get new love cards. So let's see what your love card says. It says, passion, a magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. So in this column, we're going to take a look at anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, marriage, children, whatever you associate with love, Gemini. All right, this is a little bit crazy just looking at it, but let's unpack this and see what's going on. The Three of Swords is coming up first. This is a card of heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression, surgery. I don't think any of you are separating, but I will say something seems to be coming up and your feelings are hurt here, Gemini. That's what the heart is with the swords in it, is like something happens in December that hurts your feelings. Let's look at this a little bit more. The next card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a card of feeling like you're in a low bottom, or a low position, kind of like rock bottom. It is low feelings here as well. You see the sky is dark. There's all these swords stuck in the person. The person's laying down flat. Whatever this is, I think really upset you and is driving some of these low feelings. I'm trying to think through what this is. I feel like there could be a conflict. Some of you could be losing or have lost a family member, and maybe these are some of the feelings coming through here, Gemini. At the bottom, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges. I think there is an obstacle that pops up that causes low feelings. It's interesting because I just don't know how connected this is to love. Like, I don't think that this is a relationship ending. I suppose it could be for some of you, but it feels like more like a loss of a family member, potentially. I don't know. We'll clarify and see what else we can come up with. But I do think the Five of Wands is the conflict or the obstacle that's driving these feelings. The first clarifier that we have for this column is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is about going within for clarity, making sure you're doing what feels good for you. In this situation, I feel like it's important to assess and, again, make sure what feels right to you. Is this part of your personal path? Is this part of your journey? Is this something long-term that's going to make you feel good? Obviously, we don't feel good now, but there's almost like thoughts of how do we move forward from this scenario. The next card that we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card of going within for clarity. It's making a decision to take action. Perhaps you found something out, Gemini, and you didn't have the full story, and that's what's causing some of these lower or upset feelings. I think that is going to be a scenario for many of you. You just don't have all the details, and maybe that's why you're upset. The nice thing with the Judgment card is you're going to get that information that you're missing, and then, again, have the ability to take action forward. At the bottom, we have the Four of Swords. This is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. So I feel like you are going to need to kind of recoup your energy and take some time to yourself for whatever this incident is, just to start feeling right. It does seem like there's a little bit of a recovery period. And I'm not saying it's going to be a long one, but we do need to do some recovery from whatever this incident is. Okay, now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the month of December. Let's see what summary card we have. We have the card Patterns. I love this. This is about getting rid of habits that are no longer serving us, creating new patterns that are good for us. I especially like this because you can like get a head start on the new year, almost starting those happy, healthy patterns for the new year. So take advantage of that, getting yourself in a good situation, doing those habits that you know you should be doing, creating those new healthy patterns. It's interesting, you had your first column with all major arcana and your last column with all major arcana. So big messages on both sides of this reading today, Gemini. The first card that we have is the Star card. Great card. It's a card of renewal. It's a card of hope. It's a card of inner clarity. I feel like you know what you need to do in terms of new habits and patterns here, Gemini, and you're going to see like an immediate result from them. Definitely energies are going to be renewed. Hope is going to be renewed. You know exactly what you need to do. These patterns are also an enabler here. We have the Magician. The Magician is a good card to have anywhere in the reading. It's turning visions into reality. It's inspired action. Again, you know what you need to do to get what you want, so start to shape those patterns and habits. And at the bottom here we have the Sun card. In terms of good cards in the tarot deck, it doesn't get much better than the Sun card. This is material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. So these habits, I mean, you're going to like almost be immediately rewarded with them. You're going to feel the raise in energy, the renewal. You're going to have the Magician saying you can have whatever you want. And then you have the Sun card showing that there's a lot of success and happiness coming as well. The first clarifier we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is very generous. It's giving or receiving help. This is you lifting you though, Gemini. I mean, this is you getting yourself in the right situation. Not to say you don't have a good support system, but I just feel like you're driving this. The next card that we have is the Seven of Wands. The The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense or protecting yourself against competition. I feel like you're worried somebody else is trying to do what you want, or somebody else wants what you want. And it doesn't really matter because there's enough to go around, Gemini. So you kind of have to isolate these thoughts on your own and really just focus on what you want. If you're worried about the competition, you're just going to be attracting more competition. So surely don't be thinking about that. Again, it doesn't really matter what anybody else is doing. Just focus on what you want and where you're trying to go here, Gemini. And at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited, very creative. These are just happy. Look at how both happy the person is on top of the horse in both of these cards. This is a sense of freedom. So by creating these new patterns or habits, you could be freeing yourself from something as well. Maybe you're creating a new workout schedule and you're freeing yourself from extra weight. Maybe you're creating a new sleep habit, so you're freeing yourself from tiredness. Maybe you're going to quit smoking, so you're freeing yourself from cigarettes. Nice energy, though. Really, really nice energy, Gemini. So let's go ahead and take a look now. I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1, we have the 8 of clubs. This is number 13 card. That's a no. Question number 2 is the 4 of hearts. This is number 17 card. That's a yes. And question number 3 is the 9 of spades. This is number 41 card. That's also a yes. So no yes, yes for you, Gemini. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of December. Your crystal is rhodonite, which is good for closure, balance. It helps you move past any not so great experiences as well. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, never hurry, get plenty of exercise, always be cheerful, get all the sleep you need, expect to be well. Thank you so much, Gemini, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this reading resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Gemini, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year and December.